Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are once again with the Leave the Pack short track gauntlet at Hickory Motors Speedway, ready for 100 laps of action with the late model stock. We've had an exciting beginning 3 races. Last week we saw quite a few caution flags in the Legends series. Hopefully we can see some better racing action here tonight. But qualifying time for these drivers. They'll have 2 laps to lay down their best time. Brandon Elvis, who's got a victory this season. We'll see what he can do. Picked up the win in the SK Modified a couple weeks back. Elvis works down into 1 and 2, a little bit higher line, tries to cut it down. It's one thing we've seen a lot of this season is guys trying to use the outer lane more to turn that race car. Elvis will burn lap number 1. He'll try it on lap number 2. Right now, Brandon Atkinson quick time of 14:36. We'll see what Atkinson has his second time around. Or sorry, Elvis, he'll go quick time, 14:35. Now this driver made his second start at the high banks of Winchester Speedway this weekend. Returning to iRacing, this is Braxton DeWeese in the number 8 machine. Third quick on his first time around at 14:39. We'll see if he can pick it up on lap 2. And he does, but he won't move up a position at 14:37 on the second time around. Easton Swain now, the next driver to qualify. Second time around moves up to 5th quick, a 14.40 for Easton Swain. Looking at the points coming into tonight, Brandon Atkinson leads by just 8 over Easton Swain. Right now, both of them get qualifying points, and as I say that, Dylan Connor jumps up into the 3rd spot. We'll see if he can knock Brandon Elvis off the top. Second time around, he'll stay in the 3rd position. So Brandon Atkinson gonna lock himself some qualifying points, which are very crucial, as we've seen through the first couple seasons of the Leave the Pack iRacing League. Zach Murphy on track now. His first lap time put him up into the top 5 of 14.38. All very close times throughout your field. Second lap for Murphy. He'll slow it down just a little bit, but he'll keep that 5th spot as the drivers continue to roll out. Adam Fulford in the 71 going to make his attempt at qualifying. Fulford currently sitting in the 6th spot in the point standings after just 3 races. Quite a few drivers have started every race this season. Missing a couple here tonight. Fulford gets the white flag. 4th quick on lap number 1 of 14:36. And everybody right there in the 14.3 is a very tight field. A little bit loose that time is Fulford out of 4. And he will slow down on that second time around. But he will lock himself into the top 5. As I don't think Caleb Thompson is going to put down a lap. So we will be all set as far as qualifying goes. Track temp 81. So it's going to get a little bit hotter. This session is scheduled for the morning right now. So the track temp going to pick up as it gets a little bit later in the afternoon and the sun comes out a little bit more. And it looks like it is time to hit the starting grid. We'll take a look at the schedule real quick before we do to see what we've got coming up in the next few weeks. Tour mods next week at Hickory. Going to be a fun one. The Open Wheel Warriors back. Street Stocks the week after that. Going to have 60 laps. ARCA. And then the Super Late Models to round out the season. I don't know which one I'm more excited about. The Super Late Models or the ARCA cars. Because the ARCA cars at Hickory are going to be a fun one. They're not going to want to turn at all. It's going to be fun to watch these guys try and wheel them for 125 laps. So we'll get our starting lineup on screen. On the pole is going to be the number 54 machine of Brandon Elvis. He's got one win this season. I'm sure he'd like to add another. Brandon Atkinson going to roll off to his outside door in the 15 machine. Row number 2 on the inside. Another driver that has a win this season, Dylan Connor in the number 91, defending Street Stock Showdown champion. Adam Fulford in the 71 on the outside of row number 2 in the 4th spot. Braxton Deweese in the number 8 machine. Going to roll off from the 5th spot here tonight. He'll have Zach Murphy in the 29, starting 6th to his outside. Cortland Herman in the 70 machine, going to roll off from the 7th spot. And he'll have the number 33 of Easton Swain in the 8th spot to his outside. Row number 5 on the inside is the number 57 machine of Kyle Heinzelman. And to his outside is the number 11 of Jaden Russell. And rounding out our field, only 12 cars here tonight at Hickory, is going to be the number 17 of Caleb Dyer and the number 04 of Caleb Thompson. So that is your starting lineup for race number 4 of the Lead the Pack Hickory Gauntlet. We've seen a lot of good racing so far up at the front of the pack. I'm sure we're going to see some hard racing here tonight. It's going to be interesting because these guys don't have a set of tires in the pits. They've got to go the full 100 laps on the set of tires that they have on the car now. So we'll see who can keep the tires on it. As we roll down into turns 3 and 4, the pace car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. Brandon Elvis, Brandon Atkinson through the restart zone, and we're racing down into turns 1 and 2 here at Hickory. Good start there for Elvis down on the bottom side. He'll take the early lead down into turns 3 and 4. Dylan Connor going to come around on the inside lane and take the 2nd spot away from Brandon Atkinson. Lap number 1 in the books. Give it to Brandon Elvis. Single file your front 3. We go back to the 4th spot. As, Zach Murphy gets tagged with Jaden Russell. And the caution flag flies. Lap number 2. Jaden Russell in the number 11 machine. Over the radio says, my bad, my bad. We'll see what happened right here. Go back just a little bit so we can all see. Here is the 11 machine just in there a little bit too hot. And not the way either of those drivers wanted to start off this 100 lapper. Try and go on board with Jaden Russell in the number 11 machine to see what he saw here. Might want to go a little bit further back. Yeah, I just think got a little bit, or got in there a little bit too much. Was not quite settled in all the way, but we'll re-rack them and restack them and try it again. We'll get timing and scoring up for you guys as well. As we double them up behind the iRacing.com pace car, going to send them back to 95 laps to go. As the pace car pulls back to the bottom side. Green flag's back out. Good start for Brandon Elvis. And we're back racing here as they battle for the second spot back behind. Brandon Atkinson underneath Dylan Connor in the 91. Connor trying to roll that outside lane as Elvis gets about a 3-car length advantage. Braxton DeWeese looking to the inside for the third spot as Dylan Connor is struggling on that outside lane right now. Atkinson moved by in the 15. Now Braxton DeWeese going to make the challenge there in the 8. Easton Swain and Adam Fulford battle. That's for the 5th spot back behind. Lap number 10 going into the books as we come out of turns 3 and 4. Brandon Elvis, Brandon Atkinson, Brandon Show at the front. As it looks like Braxton DeWeese going to be able to clear, just about clear I should say, Dylan Connor through turns 3 and 4. Good racing we're seeing right here. Swain and Fulford still side by side. Adam Fulford's kind of boxed in right there because you can see the 91 machine on the top, not really able to go anywhere, but the 8 of Braxton DeWeese hasn't really been able to come up and clear. I think he's going to be able to this time by, and oh, trouble. Caleb Dyer in the 17 machine goes for a slide. He'll get that car pointed back in the right direction, but you saw him go for a spin down to the bottom. I don't think he hit anything. Car still looks pretty clean, but let's take a look at what happened here. This is going down into turns 3 and 4. I think he might have just checked up. Nowhere for Cortland Herman to go. Let's go on board with Herman for that incident. See what exactly he saw. Yeah, it doesn't really look like there was much he could do. A sudden stop in the center of the corner. And that will put us under caution for the second time here tonight. And that's not what Brandon Elvis wanted to see, because that means he's just going to have to execute another restart. Which is easier said than done. Each one, his timing becomes a little bit more easy to pick up on. Maybe not easy, but you become a little bit more accustomed to it. This pace car works down the back straightaway. The lights are off this time. The field is doubled up and we are ready to go. All 12 cars still on the racetrack, still on the lead lap. Pace car works back to the bottom. Through the restart zone they go, and we are back underway, 18 laps in out of 100 here at Hickory. Good start for Brandon Elvis. He breaks out to about a car length advantage down into turns 3 and 4. The top 3 get single filed out as Easton Swain and Dylan Connor battle for the 4th spot. And man, Dylan Connor in that 91 machine Not doing too hot on the top. He finally gets back down into line right there, but that outside lane does not look to be having very much speed early in the going. To the inside of Kyle Heinzelman, that's Caleb Dyer in the 17. Trying to recover from that spin. As, up the racetrack a little bit. Goes the 57. Heinzelman tried to drive it back down in there and maybe repay the favor a little bit. I think Dyer was able to pull away. As we look back up front, here comes Braxton Deweese to the inside of Brandon Atkinson for the second spot. Deweese trying to take over here at the front. Here comes Easton Swain, going to follow suit on the bottom. Atkinson tried to get back down in the line in front of Dylan Connor, but Connor said, nope, not quite. And now Atkinson looked like he dropped an anchor out of the back of that race car. Just falling like a rock. Finally is able to get his way back down into the line in front of Cortland Herman. But he was running second all the way back to the 5th spot now. As we are already a quarter of the way into this one. 25 laps in, 75 laps to go. As things begin to settle down up front, Brandon Elvis shows the way here in the late models. Braxton Deweese running second, Easton Swain third. Dylan Connor in the 4th spot, Brandon Atkinson 5th. He's got Cortland Herman on his back bumper as well. One of the big things in this race is going to be who can save the tires the best, but also track position is going to matter too. You got to have track position, but you also have to keep the tires on it. So it's going to be a good balance of those two. It's going to win this race. Adam Fulford to the inside of Cortland Herman. That is for the 6th spot on the racetrack. Herman up into the wall a little bit in the 70. And I expect this outside lane to start to come in a little bit more as we get some heat in the tires. It's going to be even harder to pass. How about Cortland Herman finding something there in that outside groove? Looking at the outside of Brandon Atkinson now for the 5th spot. And this is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on because that outside lane definitely could come in. With the temperature these guys are faced with right now and the fixed setup, it's going to be tough to get somebody off of your outside door. And that's what Brandon Atkinson's fighting right now. You can see Herman just every single corner kind of slide up, and then he'll drive back on the exit. And if you're Dylan Connor, this is exactly what you want to see back behind you because Atkinson was putting quite a bit of pressure on that 91 machine. This gives him a chance to kind of take a breather a little bit. Try to track down your top 3 who have kind of broken away. About a second advantage over Dylan Connor. Up front for the race lead, Brandon Atkinson Braxton Deweese rather. Starting to put some pressure on the 54 of Brandon Atkinson. Adam Fulford trying to get back around Cortland Herman. Kind of scoot up the racetrack a little bit there. We're just shy of halfway, coming back to lap 40 this time. We've been green for a little bit now. And this is definitely going to be the part of the race where you start to see guys play different strategies. Some guys are going to be a little bit more calm. Some guys are going to try to go as fast as they can. Look at the gap, or sorry, the laps from that last time around. Looks like the fastest car on the track was your race leader, Brandon Elvis. And oh, caution flag. Caution flag is out. Cortland Herman in the 70 machine was battling with Adam Fulford. Let's take a look at what happened to cause the incident. I think him and Caleb Dyer just came together up out of 2. We'll try and get a better view of that. It'll be the lap after this. I'll try and look at the drone camera here. Cortland Herman is coming out of 2. You can see the 17 with Dyer on the bottom. It looked like they were just met right in the middle. The 17 was kind of expecting Herman to be out towards his wall, and Herman was trying to kind of squeeze down. But that puts us under yellow for just the 3rd time here tonight. Cortland Herman down pit road in the 70. We'll see if he makes it back out in time. We'll try to rejoin the field. It looks like he will. So all 12 cars going to remain on the lead lap. We're going to re-rack them and restack them one more time and try it again. So your race leader is Brandon Elvis. Braxton, let me try that again. Braxton Nuis going to line up in the 2nd spot. Easton Swain 3rd, Dylan Connor 4th. Pace car is off back through the restart zone, and we're back racing. 5 laps shy of halfway. Good start for the 54, but look at that 8 machine on the outside lane. Looks like he was shot out of a cannon down the back straightaway. He'll have a good run right to the back bumper of the 54. Easton Swain going to be clear for the 3rd spot. And now Brandon Atkinson and Dylan Connor resume battle for the 4th spot. Jaden Russell in the 11 machine was involved in that first incident on lap 2 with Zach Murphy. And man, they're really starting to get scrappy now. Back behind your top 5, Caleb Dyer in the 17. Down on the inside lane. Adam Fulford on the outside lane. He'll make the move and grab that spot. The 57 of Heinzelman got into the back bumper of Dyer right there, and they all kind of slid together. Everybody keeps it in the right direction, though. As Jaden Russell puts the elbows out, gets up into the 7th position there. Zach Murphy going to try to make that pass as well. And oh, around goes Kyle Heinzelman and Cortland Herman. You saw that on the corner of the screen beginning. We didn't quite see exactly what happened. Let's look at this one more time. Or try to, anyhow. See the 17 go up the racetrack, and I think Heinzelman just got squeezed into the middle there and checked up a little bit in front of Herman, right where he could not get woed down. So tough break for Cortland Herman. Man, that 70 machine has been a magnet to spinning out here tonight. And not really to any fault of his own. He's kind of just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Cars checking up in front of him, meeting in the middle, whatever it may be. The luck is definitely not with the 70 machine here tonight. Folks, if you're a fan of the WD Broadcasting Network, we'll go ahead and announce it on the live stream a little bit earlier for those of you that are watching at home. We posted earlier on Facebook that we would have a big announcement coming up tomorrow. Well, we're actually going to be starting up a merch shop. We've got WD Broadcasting Network t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. We've got youth shirts, hats, stickers, a couple other things on there as well. If you go to WDBroadcastingNetworkShop.com, you can check out what we've got going on there. Also got some Leave the Pack iRacing League merchandise for those of you that have been longtime fans. You can check out all that over on WDBroadcastingNetworkShop.com. We're going to send them back racing here just past halfway, 45 laps to go, and we are back underway. Good start there for Elvis once again. He'll be clear, and oh, trouble for Zach Murphy. He goes around. And man, cautions breed cautions. Not sure what happened to the 29 of Murphy. I'm not entirely sure. Someone might have gotten in the wall in front of him. I think that might have been Adam Fulford in the 71. I think maybe he got up in front. Let's look here. Yeah, you see the 71 of Fulford gets up into the wall in front of the 29. And nothing Murphy could do. And that's just a product of this racetrack. So tight. These cars are all so close, especially with the fixed setup, that when somebody makes a mistake like that, especially on a restart, it's going to be a spin almost 90% of the time. As the field continues to pace here at Hickory. We should be getting the one to go signal this time, and it looks like we do, so the light's going to go back off the iRacing.com pace car. We'll send them back green here with 40 laps to go. It'll be 40 to go. So a quick 40-lap feature, if you will, to close things out here in week number 4. Green flag is back out, and they're racing down through turns 1 and 2. Alrighty, folks, I apologize about that. Had to clear the black flag that somebody had that they weren't supposed to get. I hope everything is good. Had to take a break from commentary there, but I had to also make sure that everything was fair for the drivers. We're back up and ready to go. Inside of 35 laps to go, Braxton DeWeese is starting to put some pressure on Brandon Elvis for the race lead. Meanwhile, Dylan Connor to the inside of Easton Swain for the 3rd spot as well. Connor's starting to come alive here late. We're just shy of 30 laps to go Move Dylan Connor up into the third spot as they come back around this time. He will take that position from Easton Swain. But how about Braxton Deweese in the number 8 machine? All over the back bumper of Brandon Elvis. He's trying to find a way around. He's going to take a peek to the inside here. He dives in. He'll show his right front nose a little bit, but it's tough because you can't really drive up off. 30 laps to go right there. Deweese is really going to have to work the back bumper. We'll see what he can do. I think he is a little bit quicker. You can see he's all over the back bumper of the 54. But does he have enough time? And does he have enough speed to get around the 54? It's one thing to be on the back bumper. It's another thing to make the pass. And we can't count out that car in the third place spot right now. Dylan Connor, he's tracking these two down. Look at last time around. He was just a little bit quicker than your front two, so that 91 machine is coming. This time by Brandon Elvis, we'll see 25 laps to go. This is the most spread out we have seen our field so far. But your front two are still nose to tail. They're being chased by Dylan Connor. .23 to go for the 54 machine. Moored with the 8 right here. Just gotta try not to slide the tires. It's very tough to really drive up behind them, especially with how even these two are. It's gonna be really tough for the 8 car to make that pass this late in the race. But Dylan Connor starting to close that gap. Does he have enough time? Currently sitting in the third spot. .20 laps to go for Brandon Elvis. Caleb Thompson right in front of him in the 0-4. Going to give Brandon plenty of room going down into turns 1 and 2. Deweese kind of caught him at a bad time right there. That's going to allow Dylan Connor to close in the 91. We're watching the battle for the second spot right here. Go on board with the number 91 of Dylan Connor. He takes a dive to the inside. A big lunge there into turns 3 and 4. He'll hold position on the bottom. Deweese going to maybe try to cross him over. No, I think he's just going to tuck back in line. I think Braxton knows that he doesn't have anything for your race leader, Brandon Elvis. We'll see if Dylan Connor can track him down. But Brandon Elvis currently holds a 0.6 of a second advantage over the 91. It's going to be hard for him to track him down with only 12 laps to go. That last time around, the lap times were in favor of the 54. We're coming back this time to 10 laps to go. 10 to go for Brandon Elvis, trying to pick up his second victory of the season in the Leave the Pack Gauntlet Series. Kyle Heinzelman to the back bumper of Jaden Russell. That's the battle for the 7th spot as they run. Russell going to shut the door. Heinzelman trying to work to the inside, but it's just so tough to pass and really drive up to the bottom and hold the position off the corner. Five to go this time for Brandon Elvis. To 3 laps to go this time. 3 to go for Brandon Elvis. Can he hang on? And oh, the caution flag flies. I believe there may have been contact between the 57 and the 11. Of Jaden Russell. Let's take a look here. Oh, and I think actually there was initially contact with the 04 of Caleb Thompson. Let's look at that one more time. Go back to the lap 4 right here. On board with 57. You can see the 11 got into the back bumper of the 04, and there was nothing Kyle Heinzelman can do. A similar situation to what we've seen a couple times tonight. But the drivers are now going to be faced with a green-white checkered finish. And let me tell you about one person that did not want to see that caution flag. Your race leader, Brandon Elvis, he'll now have to execute potentially what could be the final restart right here. So the field will double up. Lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. It's going to be Brandon Elvis, Dylan Connor, Braxton DeWeese, and Brandon Atkinson, your top 4. Pace car brings them down into turns 3 and 4, cranks it down onto pit road, and through the restart zone they go. And not for very long. Caution flag flies. We're back under yellow. They did not get going very good there. Adam Fulford and Braxton DeWeese. Tough break for the 8 machine. I'm not sure who got into the back bumper. I'm not sure. If Deweese maybe missed a shift there, or let's try and go on board with the number 8 machine. Yeah, I think you heard the RPMs there. Tough break for the 8 machine. The second time this season we've seen that car have trouble with the shifts on the restarts. But we will try again for a final time. We only have 2 green-white checkered attempts here in the Leave the Pack iRacing League. But we will try them again. We'll try to finish this under green. Deweese gonna run around the pace car here. Not scored 1 lap down, so he'll be able to have a fighting chance. With 9 cars on the lead lap, including the 8 car. So as they work their way down into turns 3 and 4, the 54 machine gets into the restart zone, and we're back underway for a final time. Down into turns 1 and 2. Dylan Connor going to try to hang it out there on the top side. Looks like he might have something there. But through turns 3 and 4, white flag is out. Final time around here at Hickory. Down into turns 1 and 2. Dylan Connor going to have one final shot at it. Is there anything left? Down into turns 3 and 4. Brandon Elvis drives down to the bottom side. And he's going to win here at Hickory. Dylan Connor comes home second. Brandon Atkinson third. Kyle Heinzelman fourth, and Easton Swain rounds out your top 5. We're going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers here. And we'll try to grab a word first from our 3rd place finisher, Brandon Atkinson. There he is, up in the broadcast booth. Brandon Atkinson up in the broadcast booth. 3rd place finish here tonight. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Winston. How you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad. It was a pretty fun race there at Hickory. You guys had a good battle up front. Thought maybe you might have had something there, but once we got kind of spread out, it looked a little bit tough to pass. I ended up in the 3rd place spot here tonight.
Yeah, it was tough, and then the way things kind of worked out, I feel like I more than likely abused my right front tire a little more than I wanted to. I got into the wall a few times, and I kind of got freight trained back, I think, to about 6th or 7th there. Luckily was able to make my way back up without, absolutely killing the tire, because it was easy to do here. But it was a fun race with everybody, fun racing with Easton and Dylan, and good win to Brandon.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching you guys up there at the front. Next week in the Gauntlet series, we have Tour Mods. We go back to the Open Wheel Warriors. What do you think you got going into the higher power of the 2 modifieds?
Well, I like the Tour mod better than the SK. I'm a little better at throttle management and kind of taking care of it, so it's more enjoyable for me. But just gonna try to stay consistent. I'm happy to get a 3rd here. We're leading the points, so anything we can try to do to stay consistent, try to make it to the end, we'll try to be there.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Brandon. And before we let you go, who do you have to thank for another podium finish here in the Gauntlet series?
Just everyone at Skyline, Christian, John, Dan, everyone who's watching. Thank you, Winston, for putting the series on and broadcasting for everyone to watch. And it's been fun, so I'm sure it's been fun for everybody. So thank you.
Yes, sir. It's been a lot of fun for me, too. Glad you're having a good time, but we'll talk to you hopefully next week. Brandon, congratulations to you once again on your third place run here tonight.
Thank you, Winston.
Yes, sir. All right, now to talk to our second place finisher. We'll see if we can get him up into the broadcast booth. Dylan Connor up into the broadcast booth. Second place run here tonight. Started in the third spot. Looked like he might have had something there. We're maybe saving early, but just, man, tough to pass here tonight at Hickory.
Yeah, it was super tough. I was kind of hoping once I slipped into second there at the beginning, I was kind of hoping to get on a long green flag run, but when I got trapped on the outside and fell back to fifth, I knew I wasn't going to do nothing but burn my stuff up trying to get past those guys that early. So I rode for a little while, and I think with the cautions in play, I think I went in a little too late. But me and Elvis, so we were pretty even there at the end. I think he was able to sit up there and kind of save his stuff as well. So it was a good race.
Yeah, it was a good battle between you two. I thought maybe you were going to be able to track him down, but things kind of evened out there as we got towards the end of the run. But still a good place, or a good second place run for you here tonight in the late model stock. Who do you have to thank for another podium finish here in the Gauntlet Series?
Yeah, just got to thank my main sponsors, Purrier Race Parts, Chris and Alan Purrier with Coldwell Banker Elite, all my family and friends for all the support, all the help from my dad with the spotting and everything like that. And yeah, just congrats again, Brandon.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Dylan, on your second place run here tonight, and good luck to you next week in the Tour Mod.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, folks, that was your second place finisher, Dylan Connor. We're going to quickly grab a word from our winner here tonight. See if we can get the man of the hour. Second win this season. First two-time winner this season. Brandon, Elvis up in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, man.
Alrighty, well, second win this season. And a little bit more of a familiar car. I think the SK mod kind of shocked us all, but this one doesn't shock us quite as much. He sent me a message earlier today saying, this is what happened last time. I believe the Pack iRacing League had the late model stock cars at Hickory, and, well, I guess we went back to back.
Yeah, man, I was trying to will this one into existence, man. A lot of heat racing this deal here, especially with Dylan right there and Atkinson and, great day. 8-car, I can't think of his freaking name. Save my life.
Deweese.
Braxton. God, sorry, Braxton. Sorry, I've raced against Braxton forever. I'm having brain fog, I guess, but nah, man, these guys Braxton kept me honest most of the race. He was definitely going harder than I wanted to go. So I knew keeping the trap position was probably going to be really important, especially I was thinking hopefully we're going to get some late cautions and I was able to cool them back down, but I didn't want to see that I didn't want to see the green-white checker, that's for sure.
Yeah, you said it best over the chat. Debris must have been on the racetrack. No, that's initially what I thought. I thought I was seeing a replay of Sunday Winchester 400. I thought maybe a fan had thrown something on the track and we were going to get a late race restart. But no, we had a caution out back, but you ended up holding on. That first attempt at the green-white checkered was eventful back behind you, but you were unfazed, held on, executed, and picked up your second victory of the season. Who do you have to thank, Brandon, for win number 2?
Yeah, man. Just thank my wife for letting me do this. My mom, my dad for watching. I know they're cheering me on right here. And shout out to all my sponsors: Burial's Performance and Fab, Chestnut Hill Restaurant, Coastal Performance. We've had some pretty good hot rods and open set stuff this season so far. And yeah, shout out to Coleman Design. I got my buddy Justin Coleman back racing a good bit here recently. Got to get him back in here one night, but shout out to him, Brandon Kelly, for doing this paint right here on his car. Yeah, this is my team, Adam and everybody that races with us, and shout out to Dylan for racing me clean there at the end, and Atkinson as well. I have a lot of respect for those guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a good group of guys that run up at the front. You can see it week in, week out. You guys don't usually have too much contact, and if you do, it's always it's not, aggravated. It's always like, oh, my bad, it's something like that. So, just hit the steering wheel there. But anyways, congratulations to you, Brandon, on your win here tonight. What do you think you got going into TMSS on Thursday? Can you go back-to-back there as well?
I don't know, man. It's going to be kind of the same deal. I think track position is going to be important, and I think that saving that, there's still going to be a saving tires game. It's going to be a little bit cooler, but I think we got a good piece. We'll see how we shake out.
Alrighty. Well, once again, folks, this is your winner, Brandon Elvis. Brandon, congratulations one more time on your victory here tonight.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. That's going to do it for us here tonight. We'll run through our finishing results real quick. Brandon Elvis, Dylan Connor, Brandon Atkinson, that's your top three. Just spoke to them. Kyle Heinzelman comes home 4th. Easton Swain 5th. Cortland Herman 6th. Braxton Nuis comes home in the 7th spot. Zach Murphy 8th. Jaden Russell 9th. Caleb Thompson 10th. Adam Fulford 11th. And Caleb Dyer rounds out the field in 12th. So that is going to do it for us here tonight. Folks, if you're still tuned in, head on over to the WD Broadcasting Network shop.com and take a look at the new merchandise we've got over there. We've got Leave the Pack merch. We've got WD Broadcasting Network shirt. Check out the pink collection. Those are my personal favorites. Those pink hoodies are going to look pretty fire. So if you guys are interested in supporting the WD Broadcasting Network, check it out. Until next time, we'll see you guys on Thursday night with the Trackmaster Sim Series. I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace out.